Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is an all signs reading for week commencing Monday, the 5th of February, 2024. No particular theme for this other than when I sort of just divine the energy, so to speak, and sort of just see how it feels. The word that comes to mind is crackling. The energy is crackling at the moment. There's a freshness to it. But there's also a great deal of uncertainty and kind of stuff like it's popping. The energy's popping, right? So that's all I'm saying about that. But there's no particular theme to this. I did wonder about doing a love reading, and it might turn out to be a love reading. Who knows? I mean, every reading's a love reading in the end, isn't it? Really? Whether we're talking about conjugal love or every other sort of love. Right, so the decks I'm using, I've got the Major Arcana of the Ancient Italian Tarot here. Beautiful deck. I've got the Minor Arcana of the Rider-Waite split into its suits, and I've got the Major Arcana of the Rider-Waite here. Both these Major Arcana decks are fully shuffled and reversals and uprights. I'll be taking reversals there, but not here in the Minor Arcana section, because otherwise it's just too much. It's too long. It's too long. So let's have a little look. I'm going to pull 3 cards from this deck. And the first card's going to be things as you see them. The second card is the veil, which we're obviously going to lift a little bit. And the third card is things as they really are. Right, the big picture. So let's have a look. 3 cards. I'm so sorry, dear viewer, dear listener. I just need to shuffle these again one more time. I'll take them off camera because I don't want to see what's at the bottom of the deck. Oh, maybe I will this time. Yeah, F it. I will. I'm going to have a look at the bottom of the deck. We'll have a look at the kind of the proto tug, the proto sort of not anchor necessarily, but like drag on the situation. The underbelly, the proto underbelly. I want to cut that one more time. And again, okay, that's the one. Judgment. Judgment in the upright. Well, what did I say? There's a lot of crackling going on there, isn't it? My word. That's like some sort of supersonic, cracking open of things. And stuff that we thought was dead and buried is back in the room. And it's what happens. It's the sort of inescapability of the consequences of what's been done, or whatever that means to you. That's what it is. So let's stick that to one side there. I have to move these 2 down a little bit. And pull 3 cards. Well, we know we're not going to get judgment now, don't we? Strength. When I was thinking about doing this reading, that card came into my mind. I'm not going to lie. Let's move that over there. And we'll not forget this. World in reverse. And justice in the reverse. How interesting. My God. What a combo. Oh, right. I'm going to put those over there today because we've got a little bit more on the table here. Goodness me. Well, looks like something's going to crack open here that you never expected to crack open. First thing that comes to mind when I look at these 3 cards. There's a sense, there's a weariness about this for me today. Tired. tired of this struggle, whatever it is. Tired of something being like stuck in one position. And I mean, she could be interpreted as being stuck there, couldn't she? I mean, how does she move on from that position of having got control of something, or the sense of having subdued something, to sort of deactivate it? She's deactivated that lion, like in this snapshot. But what now? Where does she go from here? She's out there on her own. There's nothing behind her. Look, complete blank behind her. I've never noticed that before. She's absolutely on her own with that wild thing, that rampageous force. And she's got hold of it and she has deactivated it. But where does she go from here? Does she bring this foot down onto the spine and like permanently deactivate it? Because the moment she lets go at all, that thing's going to be after her. And I mean, one can get tired in the end. World in reverse here in the veil energy. I think this might be more perceptual than actual. And this again is a kind of rather gloomy sort of aspect. It'd be very interesting to dig down into this. And something out of balance here in judgment in the justice. That's going to be tricky, isn't it? Justice in the reverse here. But it's inevitable. There's an inevitability about how this kind of falls out in the end. But I've got a feeling this is quite a long way off. Now, I do just note that we've got the two final cards of the Major Arcana on the table here. And I know this is Major Arcana, this section, but we do have two consecutive cards. And I mean, the World is the last card of the cycle. And as I said that word last, oh my God, okay, this is the last thing we're expecting. The last thing we're expecting here. What comes out of this situation is just the last thing we would ever have thought. And we're going to find out more about that in this middle one here. So let's start digging down into this. This is simple imbalance at root, but, we're going to flesh it out as we go. So let's have a look at what's happening here in strength. Two of Pentacles. Wow. Do I hold on or do I let go? Do I hold on or do I let go? How much longer can I hold on? And what happens when I let go? That's what this Two of Pentacles is about. Basically, staying where we are or not. Simple as that. That's what's being juggled here. But there is, I mean, this is not just a binary choice. Actually, okay, no, sorry, I'm going to completely contradict myself. This is a binary choice because lion is getting tired too. And it is vulnerable to its own limitations as well. And even if this kind of standoff here doesn't end with one of them dying, neither of them will ever forget it. It will have marked them. It will mark the lion as well if it survives this. I don't think it's going to, though. I reckon she's going to crack that open. She's going to crack that jaw open. Sorry to be like gory. Something's got a crack, hasn't it? Something's got a crack, and there it is. But at the moment, we're suspended. Change or no change. That's what's in play here, and there is playing in this card, the Two of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. There's a trying energy. There's well, it's sort of fake it till you make it, Queen of Wands, in this setting, but flipping heck. I mean, when the Queen of Wands has to fake it till she makes it, we're not in a very, very settled situation, are we? It's putting on a front here. And I mean, she's a queen as well. This lady, she's got a crown on her head. She's barefoot. We don't know what she's got on her feet. But yeah, this is like, in this reading, in this setting, this is about putting up a front of actually being in charge of things. Another two of swords. Whereas in reality, we haven't got the faintest fucking idea what we're doing. It's very concentrated, this energy. It's as concentrated as that moment. This is a fulcrum point. That's what's happening here in this column here. Because the next step really matters. And the Queen of Wands reflects that as well. There's a kind of a power of like royal decision making over this. The next step. The next step. What now? Very powerful, very concentrated, very, as the French would say, pointu, very pointed. It's pointed as them swords there. My God. And the Eight of Cups. Well, I would say, at this stage, first thing that comes to mind is you would be well advised to have the capacity to do this. This is not about emotion. Keep the emotion out of this. Leave the emotion to one side. I'm going to move on. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. I might come back to it. World in reverse. You would not believe what's going to come out of those. You know, this is no sort of small matter of just sort of going through the karmic paperwork here and like crossing the T's and dotting the I's and making sure everything is like tiggity-boo before you get to card 21, card 20, card 21. You don't get to this, the world, fulfillment, something, a gestalt completing. You don't get to this without going through this. Things have to be accounted for. But there's an unexpectedness here in play between these two cards. That I really am getting that off. I'm not getting that anything's stuck because it's not flipping stuck. It's not. This stuckness is momentary. Nothing stuck about this. This is more the reversal of this world card is about the utter incapacity to have any clear idea of what the outcome of this is going to be. So let's dig in. Let's dig into this. Ace of Pentacles. First thing I'm getting off this is hope. This is hope money. Okay. I don't know where that's coming from. Not from an old music video. Four of Wands. Okay. Oh, my word. Oh, it's going to be one of those readings. Three of Swords. Oh, my God. And the Two of Cups. Well, another two. Oh, my God. This is something. This is, I don't usually say things like this on this channel, but there is something absolutely fateful about this. I'm not saying necessarily fated, but fateful. Somehow, something that has been brewing for flipping ages is coming up. This is old stuff, but not old as in decrepit and no longer relevant. This is stuff that got set in motion, like proper job, Ace of Pentacles set in motion, like a long time ago. And we've built a structure around it in the Four of Wands here. And part of that structure is the Three of Swords. Part of this structure in the Four of Wands here is how we have managed, and I'm putting this into the present perfect tense, how we have managed heartbreak and pain and loss in our lives. And I mean, sitting at the base of this column is the Two of Cups here, which is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. There is more love here than you can possibly imagine. And this Two of Cups is no contradiction to the Eight of Cups here. It's no contradiction. I'm getting a sense of sort of emotional drunkenness from these cups and the capacity to just go teetotal. This is about getting really, really real. There's nothing sort of like some romance about the heart here. It's about being really, really real about pain. And it's here as well about love and about loss. And underpinning all of it is this spirit of healing in the equal exchange of gifts here. This is absolutely lovely. So beautiful, dear reader, dear listener. It really, really is. But it's been kind of developing. It's been growing, this thing, like an invisible plant in the garden, in our karmic garden. And that's why we don't see it here in the world in reverse. And perhaps something isn't finished. Perhaps something isn't finished. And I think we're going to get an idea of how we move from this to this. Because there's so much power and energy in this Judgment card. And what I'm seeing here is this sort of very concentrated, almost incidental moment, a tipping point. I said fulcrum, it's a tipping point here. And underpinning that tipping point is this very, very long-term building of potential and fatedness here, which clearly leads us there to that Judgment card. So let's have a look at justice in the reverse, because I want to know, like, who's justice? Justice for whom, or justice for what? I think we're going to find out something in this column about why there's so much hesitation here. Maybe. Let's dig into it. King of Pentacles with another card of long-term investment here. Okay, something is out of whack in the matter of wealth. And I'm not just talking like financial wealth, because the bottom line is, if you have emotional wealth and spiritual wealth, it doesn't matter how little money you've got, you feel rich. You feel rich. If you're rich inside, you know, you can be down to your last fiver and you still feel rich. Okay, it's inner poverty that creates the feeling of poverty. And that's why people with huge amounts of money, like amounts of money that are sufficiently large for the money to just, under the way that money works now, the money just goes on reproducing itself. You don't even have to do anything. maybe, I don't know, sign some documents once a year or every 5 years or something, and the money just goes on growing like a flipping tumor. People like that, I think the majority, a lot, I really don't know because I hardly know, I don't know people like that. But I think there is an inner poverty in a lot of people like that. And I have certainly noticed it the small dealings I have had with people who are clearly very wealthy. And there is a kind of nervousness about them as they go about the world and interact with proles like me. And yeah, they're nervous. They're nervous. They don't feel comfortable anywhere unless they can own it. Terrible, terrible fate for them. So there's something out of whack here in the matter of inner wealth and how it reflects in outer resources. And that's also, that imbalance is also shown here in this Two of Pentacles. Let's keep going. Three of Wands. Well, I was going to say we can see what's coming, but we can't. It's over the horizon, but we can hear it. We can hear it. We can hear that crackling, that crackling, that crackling, that crackling, and that kind of nice shimmering sort of sound around the King of Pentacles there. We can hear it. Oh yeah. It's like it's almost like a sort of audible like fragrance wafting in. We know it's there. Oh my God, these last two cards are going to be really, really telling. Four of Swords and the Knight of Cups. Well, listen, I'm not even seeing any advice here. What I'm seeing here in this final column is that there is a holding back on kind of commitment. I'm seeing the Knight of Cups today as like commitment, the decision to actually move towards something. There's a holding back on it here in the Four of Swords. It's like we're on the brink of something here in the Three of Wands, and we're clearly on the brink of something. I'm going to get another card. I'm going to get one from the Wild Unknown Archetypes Oracle deck by Ken France. Sorry, I was fishing out. I haven't used it for a while. Beautiful deck. Look at that. Oh, isn't it lovely? I got it for a good price in a local independent bookshop, which is a lovely way to get such a lovely thing. And I can't even work out how to bloody open it now. Don't worry, I'll get there. Oh dear, dear, dear. Sorry, I'm really struggling with this. Look, this is a sign of being middle-aged, you know. When you start struggling with packaging. You look at like older people when you're young and they're like faffing around with flipping packets and things trying to get them open. You're like sighing in frustration at them. And then what do you know? It's your turn. If you're lucky. It's a funny thing, you know. No one wants to die, but no one wants to get old either. Oh dear, oh dear. We want to stay alive, but we can't accept the fact that staying alive means we're going to get old. Right. On that cheerful note, I'm going to pull one from this Oracle deck and I'm just going to riff on it. That's the one. Let's have a look. Get these to one side, pop those back in there. What have we got? Oh, fuck. Dead end. Oh my God. Well, thus far and no further. Flipping heck. Well, I told you this was like a big, like deep-rooted thing. So deep-rooted we don't even flipping see it. anymore. It is just, you know, we might know in theory that it's going to like come to the end of itself, and that's what the world is. But it's been there for so long. And it's not necessarily a bad thing either. I'm really not getting that. I'm really not getting that this is a bad thing, but whatever it is that we're undecided about here and kind of just, oh, how can I say it with this Queen of Wands? Just sort of, we've sort of built a persona here that is kind of successful, but something's on the brink of turning into a new situation here. It's on the brink. And when it does, and I have no idea, dear viewer, dear listener, what this might mean to you, but when it does, here, something that is at the root of this imbalance comes to an absolute, unequivocal end. And there is no further to go with it. And there's certainty in it. I mean, I've got to say, it don't look very bloody happy. I mean, you know, there are all sorts of ways to depict and describe something coming to an end. This one is particularly morbid, isn't it? And I'm going to say no more than that. Dear viewer, dear listener, something's cracking open, and it's something that you know, is deep. What comes up out of there has been deeply down there, darkly down there for a long, long time. Better out than in, I would say, but it might be a bit like convulsive. Right, as I said, I will leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.